My name is Neelam Gopalani. I'm an artist, I'm a curator, I'm a marketing specialist, and I'm a woman of colour. So this is the second iteration of the Walk Forward, and the Walk Forward is really about celebrating the resilience of community. And in the first version of the Walk Forward, I was celebrating migrant communities who come to Australia with very little and make a life for themselves, and despite adversity, keep moving forward. So in this version, I really wanted to celebrate womanhood and also the strength of womanhood, and also how culture is passed on through generation, in culture, but also done in a way where women come together and they spend time, language is passed on, different cultures and traditions are passed on as well. And as migration continues to happen around the world, I guess I have this kind of concern that people or culture, if you like, will start to kind of fade or dissipate or perhaps lose its strength. And actually I've seen really wonderful examples, in my family and other families around me, where despite the distance that can exist between families, particularly at the moment, given all the restrictions that we've had in our world, those bonds and those ties still stay really strong. And despite that distance, I think there is really hope for culture to stay strong and for culture to thrive. So really what I wanted to do was to celebrate culture, celebrate the way that it is harnessed through community, and in this particular instance through womanhood, but also pay tribute to particularly to migrant communities that haven't been able to connect with their families for a long time now, and to spend that time and to be together. Yep, got it. Okay, so the work is on one of the wonderful ochre-coloured walls in Eden Gardens. It's quite close to the sort of circular area where people sit and are together, which I think is quite beautiful. And it depicts a group of women from different generations, but it also depicts the banyan tree. And I chose the banyan tree because it's a typically Indian tree, but also wanted to bring it into this context and into this environment, because we're surrounded by so many natives as well. And so it was this nice kind of, I guess, juxtaposition of, a typically Indian tree in this environment, on Australian land, on Indigenous land as well, and kind of bring that narrative together. And for me, that in a way, it's bringing the culture, I guess, into an Australian context, and I think that's kind of quite a poetic element to the work. I've also used a material that's similar to what I used last time, which is a kind of an anti-slip surface material, which I think is kind of poetic as well, because this work is about walking forward and despite adversity, and you've got this material that's actually kind of trying to protect you from kind of movement. So I think there's sort of a nice kind of use of materiality in the work as well. I guess for me, my work is all about story and curiosity and culture, and so I think what I'd love people to take away is to have that same kind of curiosity about people, curiosity about their story, curiosity about where they come from. Australia is a very diverse place, and we have many wonderful communities, particularly in Western Sydney, one of the most diverse parts of Australia and the world as well. And I think there's a lot to be celebrated about that, and having curiosity and taking the time to listen and to learn and to understand. For me, that uncovers so much, and that creates bridges, I think, between different cultures as well. So really that's, I guess, what I'm trying to inspire through this work.